Hello and welcome to successfultradings.com. In this video, we are going to do a follow-up of the TradingView.com site review. By the end of this video, we are going to show you some of the features we didn't get a chance to see last time. And then we are going to illustrate what support and resistance look like on a chart. And finally, we are going to apply the knowledge of support and resistance and show you how we used it to make a trade on an option trade on a stock today. So without any further ado, let us go ahead and just dive in. Okay, very good. So before we dive in, I'm excited because let me see, can I share this? Yes, this actually, I just learned that our blog, successfultradings.com, is actually ranked number one for these very videos that we started. So this is really, really exciting news. So I feel even more encouraged right now to be providing you content to help those of you who want to embark in the trading industry for this year 2020. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. So very good. Let's come back here on tradingview.com. So this is the inside of TradingView, as you may have witnessed last time. The first thing that we are going to do here, let's go back here and where we stop. So I believe it's more, and we go to ideas. Remember, well, we will be able to showcase which that's what we're talking about on here. So last time, in last video, during the training of it, I posted an idea using Western Digital. It was really something just very straightforward that we did live on this very channel, and we posted it on there. And since then, actually, we want now to go back and look at it. So here, to go on to ideas, you just come in and then you select, you type in the name of the stock where you are looking for an idea, or you have posted for an idea. So then we go here to idea. It's a little bit confusing on there, and then we scroll. So all of these are ideas that other traders they posted on this stock on Western Digital. Well, here is our idea that we posted live with you guys. I haven't come back here. So on the 24th, it has had 29 views. And for us, remember, we just type in there, oh, we think that because of the EMA was the RSI rather, this is the relative signal strength was very hot, that it will pull back a little bit. So this is an overbought condition in the technical scheme of thing. And we posted that on the 24th, and it had 4 likes, 29 views. Ever since, nobody posted a comment on it. And well, I don't know, maybe this is just flattering. They actually show that my comment got me in the top author. This is my first ever comment, I guarantee you, on TradingView on here among all of these guys who, and if you hover over it, you can see that this is my reputation. It's just 9 as of now because I haven't really posted that many things on there. So you see all of these ideas by different traders on there. I mean, they have up to 8 pages. So I'm surprised, actually, if you ask me why this that made me in the top authors for Western Digital. In any case, the trade is still present. We're gonna discuss it a little bit toward the end of the video, and to really illustrate why we thought that there was an opportunity to make money with Western Digital through this trade. So that's the trade, the idea section of TradingView.com. One of the other things that I'm not sure if we get a chance to go into, there is this screener, for instance. I have yet to fully use it. I use a screener from finviz.com. So what I set out to do in the next feature, I think I've talked about it last time, I'm going to do a comparison between TradingView.com and finviz.com, and the screener will be one main area of comparison for the two companies, for the two, yeah, for the two websites, if you will. I think in the blog that we wrote, we talked about some of the features and the power of what TradingView does overall. So I wanted to share the idea section and to finish that, to go full circle on Western Digital idea that was posted. So now let's go back to the chart area and let's focus in on a couple of things. What do we want to focus in on here today? The thing that we want to focus on here, and the reason you see this chart of DAX, if you are reading the blog, please, again, the blog is at successfultradings.com. We have quite a few articles on technical tips on how to go about starting your trading career. So on here, we want to show you the notion and just quickly introduce to you the notion of resistance and support, because when I stumble onto DAX, I use quite a bit, not for trading. I don't trade DAX. As you know, DAX is the ETF from Germany, but I use it, as explained in the blog, for correlation with SPY. Excuse me. So DAX on here, let's look at the time period is 4 hours. I mean, I could have chosen any other thing, any other timeline. I mean, I can do that to get more points. So we can go maybe to 2 hours to get more candles if we want. Okay. So is it fine enough? I can do this. So for me, it was really interesting. I've been observing DAX for all year long since 2019. I published a study showing the correlation since 2016 between DAX and SPY. I invite you to read that, comment on it, and let me know your thought. But here, DAX really display like very symmetrical patterns of the like. So what is resistance? So if you're a newcomer, resistance for you is going to be a price level at which the stock, the ETF, is struggling to get past. Meaning that when it reached that level, pretty much there are no longer that many buyers and sellers take over, and then hence the stock will start retreating and start going down. So when you're looking at a chart, you want to look at an area where you have a lot of touches, and then it's bouncing back. So if I take this area here, so let's draw this line here. I'm not even sure if, yeah, oh, it drew it, fantastic. Hey, so here are some touches here, some touches here, these touches. So that's an idea of some resistance on there. So resistance is really a price that the stock has a hard time going over. You can, and the further you go in time, so here we're going all the way back to November, and you are seeing that property that the stock is struggling to go above that price. That tells you that you have resistance. Why is that important? That's important because when you have that information, you actually will use it to generate a trade. Meaning, if you know that, hey, DAX has resistance, what was the level here on this day? 13,336. Well, you want to trade. You want to trade on there. I'm going to go into detail in the very next example in exactly how to set up a trade around the resistance for a stock, because those are the type of trades that I call them bread and butter. I call them bread and butter because something is bound to happen. I mean, the stock can start going sideways, which we know is not good for option trader because time it's the enemy through theta. But more time than often, something will happen. Either the stock will break above that previous resistance, or it will come back down as we see on here. So if you have the tradingview.com, you can pretty much just go anytime back and start looking for support resistance. And so here's an exercise that I encourage you to do. So maybe let me put it in on a daily. So here's the full, yeah, it goes more than the full year. So we are April here. So if I minimize this, oops, okay, this is what I don't like, the drawing stuff. Okay, delete. So you can so for the full year from 2019, January 2019 to maybe now, you can find resistance level on this chart. So when you pick one, here's what you can do. Use the replay button to see if you were right about it, because then you will say, okay, you can predict. If you just pick a spot, you say, oh, I think that resistance was at this level. So then you use the replay button. You start further back compared to that date, and then the replay button will tell you whether or not you were right. If it bounces on the, actually not whether or not you were right, just to see the behavior of the stock when it hits that resistance, because there's always that reaction. Trust me, if you look at charts, or even especially in live trading, I invite you to pay attention on non-resistance to see what happened when the stock reached a resistance. The behavior is usually very funny, because computers what control the stock for the most part. They are non-algos. We just wrote an article on that recently, and we will be writing more to explain really how trading has evolved in 2020. So that's our introduction to resistance. Now let's go ahead and look at a practical case on actually how to use this knowledge on Western Digital. So the key takeaway on here, you could be asking, last time I didn't say, oh, why am I so interested in Western Digital or anything? Again, we have an article called, I think, Best Stock This Year or something. I invite you to read that one. Yahoo was named by, Yahoo named Target the US stock of the year, but for us, Target wasn't any close of being the stock of the year, and we explain why, especially when it comes to option trading. We perform a research and analysis, and we share that actually Western Digital was our stock of the year. If you want to find out, go ahead and read that article and put some comments and so your thoughts. I will really be curious about it. Okay, so the line that you see here, and again, this is already set up, meaning my mouse is not over this green dotted line that you see on here. It's actually the current resistance for Western Digital. I kid you not. Why? Because I have all of these touches here, and then I can go as far back as the month of August 2018. Look what was going on here. This stock struggled, so many touches at this current price, 64 something. So 65 really is a very, very solid resistance dating back almost over, well, August, that's almost a year and so ago for Western Digital. With that information, my friends, what happened on Thursday was very interesting. I'm just zooming in to come closer to the current date, which is here. So we are here, January 3rd. But what happened yesterday was that Western Digital actually almost broke, well, kind of broke that resistance. Really? I mean, it went and traded as high as 65.98. Again, if you are looking at the video for the first time, a view of TradingView for the first time, when you hover over a stock, you get all of these in the data window. You get all of the opening, the high, the low, the close, the change, and all of these other indicators on here. So this is the candle for January 2nd, and it closed at 65.62, which is higher than this close here. So Western Digital then on January the 2nd has its highest close over the last, almost more than 18 months, over the last 20 months. Because here the close was 64.60, 64.70, and yesterday it closed at 65.62. I have been studying Western Digital for over 4 years. Western Digital is in my watch list, so meaning I'm very familiar with this. And this is a tip that I have for you. Try to make it a point to have a set of stock that you focus on. I don't care if they're just 20 or 10 or whatever the number is, but you have intimate knowledge with them, meaning the basic thing is support and resistance, because that's going to give you so many easy trades. Let me illustrate that with Western Digital. So yesterday at close, it closed at 60, 65, 62. The closing yesterday, you can look at the chart of SPY, was very funny. Yesterday. Let's go ahead and actually change the timeline here. Sorry about that. On Western Digital and show you what I'm talking about yesterday. So if I look at the last 15 minutes of yesterday, this is what was happening. So you see this melt up here, because at first, the first candle yesterday, Western Digital was kind of rejected, really went to 65.97, and that was resistance. I knew that was resistance on there. So retreated. So you could have actually made a trade if you set an alert to say, hey, Western Digital goes above 65, let me take my chances with puts, or let me observe it to see if it sticks, because that's the other thing, that's the other pointer I will be giving you. So take trades after you have confirmation. Confirmation comes at the end of the candle, meaning that this is a 15-minute candle. After this candle, it's tough to decide. It's obviously overbought, meaning it's super hot. That's a cue. You can enter a partial put position on there. But the candle that gave it away is this candle here, meaning about the third candle on the 15 minutes one. So meaning starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time, after 30 minutes into the session, you could have traded that, and for small gain here, I mean on option on Thursday, you could easily make 50% on here, especially with the combination of 8 closing below VWAP. That's another strategy I will be hammering. I will be sharing with you throughout this year how VWAP is an indicator. Let me zoom in. Okay, VWAP is the orange line. This is VWAP is the volume weighted average price. I will be writing about it and sharing with you on here how we use it practically in all our trades. So there was a trade yesterday that could have happened on here. I did not take that. The trade that I'm going to share with you is a trade that I set up, called a swing trade. I set it up at the close of the day, because at the close of the day, as the whole market was just acting super bullish, I've seen the movie before, guys. So that's you can give me that credit that I usually, after a while being in a while in the market, you tend to see pretty much what the computers are doing. So it was driven up, and let me share exactly what I did yesterday at close. Let's see, so many things. So I'm gonna be sharing the entry yesterday. Yeah, this is from my email, guys. So straight up, just to share with you. So eTrader had it set up that it sent me confirmation of the execution of my trade in my email and on my phone. Just something that I've gotten used to. So look at the time. The time is what important. This is I'm on Pacific time for those who are wondering. So Pacific time 12:56. So meaning 4 minutes before the closing of the market, my trade was executed where I said I wanted to buy of expiring on Friday, January 3rd, 65 puts. So at this time, 12:56, where was Western Digital trading? So 12:56, this is this candle. This is a 15 minutes candle, but in any case, you can see that it opened 65.54, 65.61. It's in range. So I got into that trade. And again, we talked about I use an account specifically for this training for illustration purpose. So to showcase that, hey, you do not need a huge amount of money to make money trading option, because I always have this question. Sorry, that's not that's one. I always have this question. Many times, especially on a platform like Quora, where I answer option questions, people are always asking me, if I have $10, what can I do in the market? Actually, you will be surprised. I will show you trades with $10 by the end of this year that actually go much higher, I guarantee you. So in any case, this is for the purpose of this channel, we are setting up this trade really for teaching purposes. So we get two contracts. So this is a $60. Is yeah, $60. That's quite a risk, but it's a calculated risk. Something was bound to happen because either Western Digital will have just gone straight up, and but again, remember that my idea, I've been bearish since the 24, maybe if we remember the other training. So here was the conclusion of that. Well, not the conclusion, because I think the move can continue down. So we bought it right at the close. That's another tip. It's really setting up your position right at the closing, or in the last 30 minutes of the session. It's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. I will showcase numerous examples of that. So we did that. We bought that, and lo and behold, what happened this morning? Well, this morning, for a reason that we do not control, or again, I didn't know of how the markets will react, and I try not to. This morning, the whole market was red because of the tension that are going on in the Middle East. So closing at 65.61, and the open was 63.91. Wow, that's interesting. So for us, we had 65 puts, so meaning we were barely 1%. We just needed 1% to be in the money. So let's go see what happened. So for that, I need to bring. If you are not familiar, I like to always look at the chart of the option itself, not the stock. Let me be clear. So we on TradingView.com, we're looking at the chart for Western Digital. Here, what you are seeing right now is the chart of the option, the January 3rd 65 put, how they traded throughout the day. The market's close now, has been closed for over almost 3.5 hours. So this is what happened this morning when the stock Western Digital opened at 60, was it 63 something? The options that are both right at the close at 30 cents per contract open at $1.20. That is 300% gain overnight, right off the back. And now how I manage the trade, and then I want to share that with you as well, so that you can see and learn from it. Because trust me, I myself, I still have to decide, okay, you have a winning trade, but how are you going to manage it? So if you do not know by now, I do scale exit, meaning that I do not exit all of the contract all at once typically. Again, the time is important here. This is 6:32 Pacific, meaning the market has been open for 2 minutes. I sold the first contract. Why? Well, this chart is telling us that this is a 5-minute chart. So can I make it a smaller granularity? Yes, I can. Okay, this is a 3-minute chart. Look what's going on here. It opened at $1.20. How do I know that? It's here. It's written here. And the high was $1.36. I could have sold it on the first minute. Trust me, I've done that and live to regret it. On this very stock, where I've sold my position for a nice gain, I don't know, 200%, 300%. Very early, the day was still young, and by the close of the time, the position was worth 4-5 times higher. Yeah, you do not want to feel like that. So you have to buy the bullet. I'm going to talk to you maybe a better way of managing it than I did this morning. So for me, I was waiting here. I was waiting for direction. Or not direction, the direction was done, but I was waiting maybe for it to carry on. It did not. Au contraire, it actually came down, because you didn't see that by 4 minutes into the 6 minutes in the session. I'm reading it here. This is where I'm reading it now. Look, when I'm here 6 minutes into the session, it's worth 59 cents from a high of $1.32. I could have easily taken my money and walked away, especially expiration on Friday. I didn't do that. So in that sense, I didn't quite manage it properly all the way. But so here's what I did, right? I sold the first one. Look, even at my limit sale, 90 cents. No, they gave me $1.02 because it was very volatile. very volatile, and the spread was quite high. Actually, I think that's what was bothering me a little bit, not to sell them too cheaply. Again, that will happen to you. It's just, this is how this market has been lately, especially on gap downs. Is really difficult, even when you have a winning trade, to take the maximum out of it. So you're just trying to do your best. So in this case here, I was lucky. This is straightforward. There's no two other way about it. I mean, if I were to sell it at 90 cents, that still would have been 200%, right? Remember, we bought it the day before at 30 cents. So 90 cents is 200%, but here we are able actually to get 300% and a little bit more on this first contract. And we continue waiting. This again is 2 minutes into the session, and you saw the chart. As time was passing by, I'm going to switch back here, right, to show you. As time was passing by, the value of this option was actually diminishing to this point. And while it came back up briefly, but not that much. After that, it drifted down. If anything, I can actually, well, let's finish this one and I'll tell you what I did after that. So how about the last contract? I had 2 contracts, right? Well, the last contract, I get sucked in as I sold it at 59 cents, so meaning just shy of 100%. So this is how this trade went, just solely based on the fact that I identified yesterday on the close that Western Digital was trading at a major resistance, meaning that resistance dated back since 2018, and I took that trade for puts, and I made so the initial investment was what, $60, right? So for us, we got $1.02, well, plus 59, so that's a total of 160, let's say 160, because just the small fees. So 160 minus 60, because we bought 2 contracts at 30 cents, we made a cool $100. So $100 divided by our initial investment of 60, that's represent 166% on this knowledge of Western Digital. And this is something you can do by just studying your chart and waiting for the proper opportunity. So coming on back here, where is that? Sorry. So while this put contract was going down, the calls actually were going up. So actually, I made some tiny money buying calls on Western Digital, and that's something that you should always be ready for. So how could I have managed this trade better than today? This is really important. This market, the US market, from what I've seen in 2019, does not want to go down. Even when the worst things are happening, you think that the market is going to go down. They are always buying it up. So my 2 cents is that in a scenario where you are carrying a position overnight and it's giving you decent gain, decent gain is over 100%. So in this case here, we had over 300%, right? It's okay to sell all of your contracts. I explain why. You sell all of the contract, now you have capital to actually risk less money and then follow whatever move that's when you have confirmation, obviously, whatever move that the stock will be making. So if we come back here to the Western Digital charts, so this is it here. After I posted this first green candle, that's our signal that this stock is likely will not be going further down. And then it proceeded by just staying here. This candle gave you also confirmation that we can go long, meaning we can buy calls, because the close is above the green line. The green line again is the exponential moving average 50. That's a natural resistance. So when a stock goes above resistance, it becomes bullish. So then you could have reading it here all the way over here. On Friday, any stock moving, this may not seem that much for you, meaning going from 64.50 to 65.26. I guarantee you this move, which is over 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe an hour and a half, would have given you 100% easily. Absolutely. So I'm hoping that you found this video useful. please leave your comments, leave your thoughts. We will make sure to get back to you. And until then, have a good day and see you next time. Bye bye, everybody. Hello and welcome to successfultradings.com. In this video, we are going to do a follow-up of the TradingView.com site review. By the end of this video, we are going to